Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to a new lesson in this curriculum. I mean the Libyan curriculum of English. Lesson number 9, and it has the title of The Father of Science Fiction. The Father of Science Fiction. In this lesson we'll talk about science fiction. And here the father means the inventor or the main person, the most important person in science fiction. Number A, work in pairs and then discuss these questions. How much of the science in science fiction books and films is based on fact? Give some examples from books or films that you know. Number 2, should scientists be interested in science fiction? And number 3, why is science fiction so popular? Yes, in your opinion, my students. Number 1, how much of science in science fiction books and films is based on fact? Do you think there is so much facts or a little facts in science fiction books, let's say, or films? Yeah. So here we can say not a lot, because sometimes fiction books and films depend on imagination and superstitions to some extent. Give some examples from books or films that you know. As you all know, we have the films of the Star War or Stars War, and we have also the World's War, and they have a lot of imaginations and superstitions at the same time. So these films, they don't depend on facts all the time, but sometimes they are based on some facts. Number 2, should scientists be interested in science fiction? Here your opinion is so important, my dear students. In my opinion, to me, yeah, scientists should be interested in science fiction. Why? Because science fiction makes our minds fresh and we can imagine unreal situation. So in this case, we can make refreshment to our minds and we can imagine some unreal cases. 3, why is science fiction so popular? It's popular because it's interesting, exciting, and it has a lot of suspense. And maybe at the same time, after 10 years, 20 years, maybe these actions may be true. Number B, Jules Verne was a 19th century writer. Jules Verne was a 19th century writer. He is considered to be the father of science fiction. In the 19th century, there was a lot of interest in science and invention amongst the public, and Jules Verne's books became very popular So he became very popular. Complete this biography with the words below. Use a capital letter if the word is part of a book title. Here we have a books, and inside this books we have 8 words. Number 1, libraries. 2, journey. 3, moon. 4, adventure. 5, days. 6, achievements. 7, sea. And then number 8 we have balloon. We have to put these words in the correct space or the correct spaces. Jules Verne was born in France in 1828. Even as a boy, he was interested in adventure. He was interested in adventure. He once tried to run away from home and become a cabin boy on a ship. He later went to Paris to study law. However, he soon began writing. When his father heard that he had stopped studying, he cut off his son's money. Jules had to make money from his writing. He spent many hours in libraries studying geology, engineering, and astronomy. His first successful short story was published. in 1863. It was called 5 Weeks in a Balloon. 5 weeks in a balloon. Here we have to capitalize the first letter of balloon because it's part of a book title. Let's move to the second paragraph or the second part. Soon he started writing novels such as Journey to the Center of the Earth. Also here we have to capitalize the J letter. I mean journey must be written with J as capital letter because it's a part of a book title. So he started writing novels such as Journey to the Center of the Earth, in which a professor enters a volcano in Iceland and eventually reaches a large lake in the center of the earth. In another book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Also here in this space, I mean space number 5, we have to begin the word sea with capital letter of S. Jules Verne predicts the use of submarines long before they were invented. In fact, he predicts many scientific achievements. In his books, as well as submarines, helicopters, air conditioning, and flights to the moon. Many of his books, such as Around the World in 80 Days, Around the World in 80 Days, we have to capitalize the first letter, which is D, yeah, have been made into successful films. Jules Verne died in France in 1905, but his books continue to be very popular today. Now, after reading and doing this exercise, we can see the answers in front of us, my students. You can look at them carefully and write them down on your books. Here you have to draw your attention carefully to some words like number 3, balloon, 4, journey, 5, sea, and number 8, days. They begin with capital letters because they are parts of a book title. Number C. Look at the picture opposite. Which of Jules Verne's stories is the extract from? Answer the questions. Henry, his uncle, and the guide are looking down at the crater of Mount Sniffles, the beginning of the route to the center of the earth. The crater of Mount Sniffles was an inverted cone. The gaping hole, half a mile across, the depth indefinite feet. What must this hole have been like when full of flame and thunder and lightning? The bottom of the funnel-shaped hollow was about 500 feet in circumference, by which it will be seen that the slope from the summit to the bottom was very gradual. Now, number 1, complete the measurements on the diagram of the crater. And number 2, mark with an X with where the explorers are standing. Complete the measurements on the diagram of the crater. A equals half a mile. A equals half a mile. Whereas B equals 500 feet. 500 feet. Number 2, mark with an X where the explorers are standing. An X anywhere on the edge of the crater. Now, by doing this exercise, number C, we can conclude our lesson, my dear students, and see you inshallah in the following part of this lesson. So, goodbye.